Pioneers are explorers. Pioneers are innovators. Pioneers are leaders. We are Marietta College. We are pioneers. Find out how you can become a PIO at www.marietta.edu.
Coming up today on NewsCenter 15, a body in Georgia was identified after 35 years.
And a row house fire gets out of control in Baltimore.
We'll have these stories and more. NewsCenter 15 starts now. Good afternoon, and welcome to Monday's edition of NewsCenter 15. I'm Jalen.
And I'm Abby Scott.
Topping our news this afternoon, a body wrapped in plastic inside a Georgia dumpster 35 years ago has been identified as that of a South Korean woman. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation said Monday that they used DNA analysts to determine that the 26-year-old Chung Kim was the person whose body was discovered in a rural Millen in February. Kim died from asphyxiation, but it is unclear whether someone killed her or who dumped her body. Investigators say Kim lived for several years in Hinesville, 70 miles south of Millen. Her body was found wrapped in plastic and stuffed inside a suitcase. Investigators say Kim has been dead for 4 to 7 days when her body was found.
City officials in Baltimore, Massachusetts say a rapid intensifying blaze that engulfed multiple row houses in northwest Baltimore left one firefighter dead and 4 others injured. They say the injured firefighters received varying degrees of burns. City leaders held a news conference Thursday night announcing the death. Baltimore Fire Chief James Wallace said the fire appeared to rapidly grow in intensity not long after firefighters arrived on scene. He said the cause remains under investigation. The Baltimore Fire Department has faced growing controversy in recent months after 3 firefighters died while battling a vacant row house fire early last year.
Let's take a quick look at the current conditions.
Here to provide a first look at the weather is Tyler Celanitro.
Well, right now outside it's starting to warm up a little bit, much like it was a lot colder outside over the past week. Right now it's 64, feels a little bit like 62, so you can take those hoodies off for now. High of 73 today, so it's going to get a little bit more warm. UV is pretty low, air quality is good right now. The pollen around 3.7 as we're moving out of that springtime or into that springtime weather soon. That'll keep going up. Wind, not really much wind today. Decent amount of humidity as it was. It did rain a bit over the weekend, so sun will be setting at 6:34 today. But that is all I have for right now with our look at the weather. I'll be back later on for more of the extended forecast. So back to the desk.
In a movie matchup almost as unlikely as Barbie and Oppenheimer, Martin Scorsese took on Taylor Swift in cinemas over the weekend. And while the box office belonged for a second time Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon got off to a strong start in Apple Studios' first major theatrical gambit. After a record-breaking opening weekend of $92.8 million, Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, took an estimated $31 million over the weekend from 3,855 locations, according to AMC Theaters. Killers of the Flower Moon debuted with $23 million, marking the third best opening for the 80-year-old Scorsese. The $200 million film is the largest production yet from Apple Studios.
The battle over how to teach reading has landed in court, with momentum shifting in favor of research. Back strategies known as the science of reading state some school districts have been ditching once popular programs amid concerns that they aren't effective. In Ohio, the legal fight centers on a state ban of material that uses a common technique called 3Qing. The technique is a key part of the reading recovery program used in more than 2,000 U.S. elementary schools. The Reading Recovery Council of North America sit in a lawsuit earlier this month that lawmakers infringed on the power of state and local education boards.
Michigan State Athletic Director suspends an employee.
And an action thriller is blooming with popularity, all based on Nigeria.
Stay with us.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones. The first ones. Hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
Michigan State Athletic Director Alan Haller said he has suspended an employee involved in allowing Adolf Hitler's images to be shown on video boards before playing Michigan. The employee was not named Sunday and is currently pending an investigation that will help determine potential action in the future. The creator and producer of the quiz channel on YouTube that includes Hitler's image as part of a quiz said the school didn't ask for the permission to use his content or pay him for it and defended his decision to include the questions on his platform.
A Nigerian action thriller that tells a gripping story of corruption and police brutality in Africa's most populous country has reached record viewership numbers on Netflix charts globally. It's a reminder of the power and potential of Nigeria's rapidly growing film industry. The Black Book has taken the streaming world by storm, spending 3 weeks among the platform's top 10 English-language titles globally, peaking at number 3 in the record week. It's garnered 5.6 million views just 48 hours after its September 22nd release, and by its second week was featured among the top 10 titles in 69 countries, according to Netflix.
An employee with the Illinois Comptroller's office has been fired after she posted anti-Semitic comments on social media during an exchange about the latest Israel-Hamas war. A spokesperson for Illinois Comptroller, Susan Mendoza, said in a statement Thursday that the employee was immediately fired after she admitted to some of the posts. The Chicago Tribune reports the comments were a part of an Instagram exchange of insults with another user. Social media postings identified the employee as Sarah Chowdhury, who worked as a legal counsel for the Comptroller's office. She also resigned as head of the South Asian Bar Association of Chicago. Coming up next, a Marine was killed on Camp Lejeune.
We'll also get the latest news from Hollywood.
Where are we?
We are at Marietta College.
This is where we live at Marietta College.
kids need medical care, they face life-changing experiences. They miss out on the things that make being a kid fun. Starlight Children's Foundation programs entertain and inspire hospitalized kids. Learn more at starlight.org.
Marietta, a place some people call home.
A place of athletes.
A place of discovery.
A place for the future.
Your plan.
Your future.
Go Pios.
San Francisco police say a man who crashed a car at the Chinese consulate earlier this month was armed with a crossbow and arrows and swung a knife at officers before a police sergeant killed him. San Francisco Police Acting Commander Mark Im says an officer opened fire after Yang failed to comply with orders to get on the ground and swung his knife toward the officer and a security guard. A bystander calling 911 said Yang had a gun, but police did not find a gun on him. Police have not released a motive for the attack.
A Marine was killed in a homicide at Camp Lejeune, and a second Marine is being held on suspicion of being involved. A statement from North Carolina says the authorities took the Marine into custody about 10:15 p.m. Wednesday after an incident that occurred in a barracks from earlier in the evening. The statement called the death a homicide and described the other Marine as a suspect, but didn't provide any other details, including how the Marine died. The Naval Criminal Investigation Service has assumed responsibility for the investigation.
As you know, Halloween is next Tuesday. To get in the spirit of our very own Zach Harristott takes a stab at bringing horror to WCMO.
His latest story is about a video game that revived a 1974 horror classic. You may have heard of it, or may have terrified your parents.
In 1974, Tobe Hooper and Kim Henkel shocked theater audiences with what some consider to be the first slasher film to grace the big screen. In 2023, Gun Media Interactive set to bring that experience to video games with the latest asymmetrical horror title, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Game. In this revival, you can fill the role of one of the cannibals preying on innocents in the Texas area, or be one of the young adults trying to escape their clutches. The game brings immersion to your TV screen and monitor that is reminiscent of the original film. To discuss how Gun Media brought Leatherface back to life is the horror icon mocap actor, Kane Hodder.
Point being, with Leatherface, I'm trying to incorporate what I did in the past, partially, because I did do a number of scenes as Leatherface, and also out of respect to Gunnar Hansen, who was the first Leatherface. That's the iconic one, you know, the first time you see the character, and he did so many amazing things. I'm trying to incorporate some of his personality traits, like a little bit of a twitch, and, you know, even though you're never gonna see it, I do what Gunnar did as the character a lot. I lick my teeth. Gunnar did that a lot. It was creepy as hell.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is available on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, with all of the tools for a proper bloodbath. With a chainsaw in hand and some awesome dance moves, this is Zach Heiserut. Back to you guys at the desk.
We're moving on to entertainment news. The official trailers are out for Ferrari and The Boys in the Boat, and 1985's Back to the Future is back in theaters.
Taking a look at entertainment is Landon.
That's right, Abby. A trio of movies is headed to theaters, including 2 historical dramas due out for Christmas. They have at least one thing in common, that being the need for speed. The first film, set in the summer of 1957 with his auto empire in crisis, Enzo Ferrari, the ex-racer turned entrepreneur, pushes himself and his drivers to the edge as they launch into a treacherous 1,000-mile race across Italy. Adam Driver portrays Enzo Ferrari. Penelope Cruz and Shailene Woodley co-star in the drama from veteran filmmaker Michael Mann. The official trailer is out now, and the movie is due in theaters on Christmas Day. Our second historical drama focuses on the University of Washington's rowing team. The Depression-era underdogs took on the world and won gold at the Olympics in Berlin. You can check out the official trailer for The Boys in the Boat, based on the best-selling book by Daniel James Brown and directed by George Clooney. This drama rose into the theaters also on Christmas Day. And if you want to hear about a movie you can see right now, go back to Back in the Future. In this 1985 time travel adventure, Marty McFly is accidentally sent 30 years into the past and is zooming back, and this classic film is zooming back into theaters now. Check out information for locations and how to purchase tickets at fathomevents.com. That's all for now. With today's Hollywood Minute, I'm Landon Santini. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the look at Hollywood, Landon.
We'll head to Tyler now for a look at the extended weather forecast.
Well, like I said earlier, it's starting to warm up a bit, and as you can see in our lovely little Ohio region, Michigan up here, you know, they're getting some rain, but that's going to come. That doesn't look like it's going to be coming our way from the Great Lakes. So pretty much dry all around. I'm not expecting any rain for the next coming week here. Temperatures are going to continue to rise, as we see a high of 73 alone today in our lovely little Marietta area. Coming up with a 5-day forecast on Wednesday, we've got a high of 72. Like I said, those temperatures are going to be rising for the next week. Low of 51. Thursday, high of 73, low of 50. Going to be cloudy, but don't expect any rain or a little bit of wind, though, but not expect much rain. Friday with the high of 74, low of 57, and it's going to be cloudy as well. And then coming up for Saturday, for the weekend, it's going to be high of 74 and low of 62, and it actually start raining, so temperatures are going to potentially cool down once again, starting after Sunday, where we have a high of 74 and a low of 61, and once again we have showers. So the humidity is going to raise the temperature just a little bit during the rainfall, but I expect the temperature to go back down coming up starting next Monday. But we'll talk about that more at the end of the forecast. So back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Tyler. When we come back, Hunter Winthrow will have the latest in the world of sports.
Stay with us.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course.
He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him.
Oh, the fridge.
Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle.
Now he's just got to get out of there.
Look what dropped from the sky.
Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a Midnight Snack Run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Marietta College, home of the pioneers. A small town on the Ohio River with a tight-knit community and tons of opportunity. Find a home here at Marietta College. Bring forth a pioneer.
Did you know that over 700 kids enter the foster care system every day?
$700?
700.
Just talking about foster care can help foster care.
Okay, let's try this.
Donate your small talk.
And now we're back with Hunter Winthrow for a look at sports.
Tell us what's been happening out there.
I'll give you the rundown now. The Marietta College football team was in action last Saturday as they battled the Heidelberg Student Princes. The Pioneers defense came to play on Saturday as they forced 5 turnovers. One of those turnovers resulted in a pick 6 when Jalen Quiero Gordon took an interception 55 yards for a Pioneer touchdown. Quarterback Connor Viestra led the Pioneers offense, throwing 4 touchdowns and 303 passing yards. Marietta will be making the long trip up to Ohio Northern University to take on the Polar Bears on Saturday. Staying in Marietta, the Pioneers women's soccer team also played Heidelberg on Saturday as they traveled to Tiffin. The Pioneers were able to shut out Heidelberg, winning 3-0. Angeline Contul, Kaylee Ward, and Melissa Sowarensky scored all 3 goals for the women's soccer team. This is the first time Marietta has beaten Heidelberg since 2019. The Pioneers will be back in action tomorrow as they play Otterbein University at Marietta Field, with game time set to start at 7 p.m. Over in NBA news, the Cleveland Cavaliers are back in action tomorrow as they will be headed to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. The Cavs are coming off a 51-31 season last year as the team's first trip to the playoffs without LeBron James since 1998. The Cavs will be led again by this season's shooting guard Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell is coming off an impressive season where he had 28.3 points per game. Tip-off is set for tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Lastly, we will end in some NHL news. The Columbus Blue Jackets will be in action tomorrow as they face off against the Anaheim Ducks. The Jackets are 3-2 in the early part of the season and are coming off an overtime thriller when they beat the Minnesota Wild on Saturday. The Blue Jackets look to keep the winning going in Nationwide Arena with puck drop set for 6:30. That's all I have from the world of sports. I'm Hunter Withrow. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Hunter. Joining us now at the desk is Tyler for our last look at the weather.
Well, like we mentioned in the extended forecast, temperatures are starting to become a little bit more kind of chill as we have cloudy skies with some mild winds, but temperatures are rising a bit into those 70s. I think the weather is actually going to be perfect for this week for going outside, wearing some short sleeves and shorts again. Tired of it being in the 50s. I don't know about y'all.
No, I don't like the cold.
I don't
too
enjoy
windy.
it. Get too cold easily.
Well, we hope you'll join us Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30 and 6:30 for WCMO NewsCenter 15. Marietta College Broadcasting. See you next time.
Meet Candace. This senior basketball player loves to spend time hanging out before class with her best friend and education major, Shelby. Shelby knows the best place to study is at the Kalaki Cafe, where she can compare notes with baseball player Ryan and get a great cup of coffee too. In the off-season, Ryan tries his best when he's shooting hoops with broadcasting major Gage in the Dyson Baudo Recreation Center, home of Fenton Court. Gage, as producer at WCMO 15 News, runs the control room, where he shows the ropes to Mary, a junior volleyball player and advertising and public relations major. Mary loves to spend her free time drawing down at the Herman Fine Arts Center